The other day I was at CAMERAjOINT to pick up stuff, right? And I saw these two Fifine products. The first one I saw was a podcast microphone, was the K688 XLR/USB microphone. The fact that it was a USB microphone caught my attention. And then the other one was an ampli-tank audio interface. And I thought to myself, I wonder what the difference between the K688 and the AM8 microphone would be. I would really love to see the difference. Let's check it out. So in the box of the podcast microphone, you basically just have 4 items. You have an adapter that you can use for a boom mic and also use for a stand, just in case your stand doesn't have that screw, you can use this. Also, you have this USB to USB-C cable. You have the microphone itself. I like the fact that this one has a shock mount. So the way it's positioned in such a way that the mic doesn't fall off. I'm sure if I push this out, it'll probably come out. That would be destructive, so there's no point. And next to that, you also have a sort of like a very small tripod stand. And I think the reason I like this is you can actually screw it to the microphone itself and place that down. There you go. Looks nice, even though my table is straight. I don't think I'll ever use this, though. I'll most likely use it on my tripod, a longer one, or put it on this stand right here. So I think what I want us to do is let's just jump straight into. Should I jump straight to how it sounds? Or should I talk about the connectivity? Okay, let's talk about the features first, and then we'll probably I just can't wait to I want to hear the sound. I'm tired of trying to run through this process of, what's in the box? And features, yeah. In terms of the features, the features of the K688, it's very similar to everything that Fifine does. I mean, they have a standard way with their microphones. Underneath, you have this. I don't know if you guys are seeing this very well. Let me extend the lens. Yeah, I think this is way better. Good. So you guys can see this way better now. Now, underneath, you have, it gives you the capacity to record using the XLR or the USB-C. I think the USB-C is just the way to go. Every manufacturer today is making USB-C mics because more content creators use their phone. So now if you're going to be using the USB-C port, you're going to have to use the headphone jack, because if you're going to be using the USB-C on your phone or a laptop, you would need to use a headphone so you can hear it directly. And you have two controls on there. You have one for the headphone itself, and you have one for the volume of the microphone itself. And then you have the conventional XLR port. Another unique feature about this is it has a mute button. Okay, I think I might want to zoom in just slightly bit so you guys see better. Good. Now you have a mute button here. Now this I'll show you once I power it on. You can actually mute your audio or unmute your audio from here. And it also has the shield, the pop shield. I've seen someone actually use this. Let me zoom this out again. I'm beginning to consider zooming a lot of fun. I've seen someone use the mic this way. Initially, I felt it was sort of like weird, but I think it gives a look, when you sort of like use the mic. I mean, it looks weird, but I also think it's cool. The only issue you're going to have is if you're someone that has a lot of plosives and sibilances, you're going to regret using it this way. So it may be safer for you to actually use this. So I think the next thing I want us to do is connect this, and let's just hear exactly how it sounds. Yeah, that's the part I really want to get to. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Okay, microphone check. Whoa, you gotta be kidding me. No, sounds good. Really? Microphone check 1, 2. Oh, man. This microphone is so bad to use, especially if you have a fantastic voice just like mine. You know, I can't help myself. But I really like the way it sounds. I mean, what? And this microphone actually goes for about $50 to $55. No microphone in this range to sound is good. Nah, it's not right. Wow. Let's try something, right? Now, with the Pop Shield, basically what it does is it reduces sibilances and plosives. Sibilances are the excessive sounds of the S and the CH, while plosives are the excessive P's and B's in words. So let's remove this and let's see the difference. Okay, check on aha. Now you can see it sounds way brighter. And that's because we've removed the Pop Shield. The disadvantage though is that if I start saying, you know, if I use words that have a lot of P's and B, aha, see what I'm saying? P's and B's, it starts buzzing. So I think it's wiser to use, even though aesthetically it looks nice this way though. But I think I like to use this. And one issue I have with this mic though is the fact that it's so easy to take off. It really shouldn't be this easy to yank off. Same thing with the AM8. So it'd be nice if Fifine could make the Pop Shield a bit more sturdy so it doesn't like yank off. And in terms of specs, it records at a bit rate of a bit depth of 16 bit and a sample rate of 44,100 kilohertz to 48,000 kilohertz. I wish it was recording at 24 or 32 bit float. It would have been very nice. But besides, now I think one of the reasons why it's this loud is because it has a maximum SPL of 130. It's pretty loud. It's louder than my pod mic because I had to reduce it by I think about like almost 3 or 4 decibels. So I'm pretty impressed. And in terms of frequency response, it has a frequency response of 50 hertz all the way to 15,000 kilohertz. So meaning if you're looking for a microphone that would, you know, extend to like 20 hertz. I mean, what would you need that for, really? And it stops at 15,000 kilohertz. You say, oh, why doesn't it get to 20,000? What do you want to do with 20,000 kilohertz? Really? I mean, if you're above 30, 35, you probably can't hear it. So what's the point in asking for a microphone that's going to give you? I think what they're giving us is enough. It also has a cardioid pattern. I mean, for a dynamic mic, this is good. So, and this is me using the XLR input. So I do have a feeling that the XLR input would sound way better than the USB-C, but let's give it a try. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to use my laptop because my system is not rigged up for USB-C. So I'm going to swap to my laptop and let's hear how this sounds on USB-C. Okay, so right now I'm recording directly to my laptop. I mean, just off of my ear, it sounds good. I mean, I thought there would be like a huge difference between the sound of the XLR and the sound of the USB-C, and it actually does sound good. And to be honest, you can make up for, you know, the imbalance somewhere in the mix. Like I said, it has a mute button by the side, so it's a touch response. So if you touch it, it's green. If you touch it, it just mutes your audio, and if you leave it, it continues. So let's give it a test. Okay, so I'm going to keep speaking, and I'm silent. See that? Let's try it one more time. So I'm speaking to you and hope. No. Here we go. Good. So that's how well that works. Now, considering the signal to noise ratio and the fact that the maximum SPL is 130 dB, I want to see just how quiet this microphone is. My air condition is on in front of me. I have the fan of the LED light. I can actually hear it. It's audible to my ear. But let's see if the mic is going to pick it up. So I'm going to keep quiet for like 5 seconds and let's see if he picks it up. Silence. I did not hear anything. And I'm not using any processing on this besides the compressor, EQ, and volume. There's no noise gate. You know, there's no denoise. So obviously this mic sounds very good. I think the next thing I would love to do is, I think naturally microphones will sound well on the human voice. So I want to try playing an acoustic guitar. And let's just see how it resonates with the guitar as well. Let's give that a try now. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Alrighty, so you heard the test of the K688, especially on the guitar. I found it interesting that it sounded good on the guitar. I couldn't resist adding a bit of delay to that guitar. I just found it dry initially when I just played it back, so I had to add some bit of delay. That's why it sounded the way it sounded. And I'm pretty impressed. So obviously, if you can work for an acoustic instrument, it will be able to work for a percussive instrument likewise, like shakers, congas, stuff. I think you sound good. So the question is, who is this mic for? I think this mic is not just good for podcast. I think it's also good for singing. I think it's good for playing percussions. I think it's good for instruments. I mean, I will probably get creative with this stuff, over time. Now, the difference between this and the pod mic, very little difference. There's something about the pod mic that I like, and the SM7B. Both of them tend to have this punch. There's a bit of grit to it that the Fifine doesn't have. Now, except you're looking for grit, if you're just looking for a good sound, this microphone does a fantastic job. It really sounds good. I didn't expect it to sound that good. I mean, you're talking about this is a $200 microphone. This is like a $55 microphone. And for it to sound that good, I think Fifine did a very good job. And I think with time, they'll probably improve on the microphones. Besides that, I think this is a good microphone. It's cheap. And because it's cheap, I think you should get yourself one. You'll never be at a loss. And until the next review, please, guys, leave comments. Subscribe to the channel. Please, I want to hear what you guys have to say about the microphone in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao. Bye.